Hello.
Laissa, take a look at the symptoms of type 1, the
Yes.
low serotonin craver.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we start there with type 1?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the negativity and the irritability and the lack of confidence and the fearfulness, people who have plenty of serotonin have a positive outlook, they're emotionally flexible, they feel self-confident, they have a sense of humor, and they do not have the late afternoon or nighttime carb cravings. There are two forms of the amino acid that produces serotonin. One of them is called L-tryptophan, and the other is called 5-hydroxytryptophan. So if you could get your bottle of tryptophan,
Mm-hmm.
and how many milligrams is in each capsule?
This is 500.
So could you put a couple tablespoons of water in a glass and then open the capsule of tryptophan and empty it in?
Okay, yes.
And then you'll stir it around, swish it around in your mouth. So just swish for, a minute or so, and then you can swallow it. And usually when you swallow this way, liquefied aminos, they have an impact that you can feel pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, I I can feel a slight improvement, like a little bit more relaxed than I was a little bit before, but not a big difference, I would say.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how much tension? Would you be a 7 or a 6 or a 10?
I was 10 like earlier today.
Okay.
It was a really hard day today. Yeah. So I would say just when we started here, I think I was around 7 because the kids are sleeping now. So I would say around 7.
Good to know. Okay. And now,
But I feel a little bit more energized, not tired, but not excited, but a little bit more energized than I was before.
like another 10% or more?
Maybe even more. I would say 20% more energized. Yes, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Good. All right. So let's decide, should you take a second one or should we go on to trial the other ones?
But yeah, I think I would go with another capsule.
Okay, let's do another one. Good for you.
Okay.
What are you experiencing, if anything, the second one?
I definitely feel calmer, more centered.
Okay.
Yes.
So how much more? How much calmer do you feel on two?
That before I was 6, I would say I'm around 3 or 4.
Aha. Okay. So you were right. Your instincts were excellent. You needed two at least twice a day. I would say 3 times, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and bedtime. So prior to taking these 2 tryptophans, what would your craving score be on a 0 to 10 scale, with 10 being the greatest cravings? Today. Yeah, earlier.
I would say 6, 7. I would definitely, if I didn't have this meeting, I would definitely be eating right now something. Not because I'm hungry, because I had dinner just before. But I will probably looking for a cookie or something in the pantry for sure, because it was a hard day. So I would definitely be eating something.
Okay, good. This is a great time to be doing this then. So now would you say you have 0?
I think it's close to 0. It's like 1 maybe. If it's a really good thing, why not? Because I'm up to it. It's delicious, but it's just if it's really good. Otherwise, no, it's just like I'm fine.
Okay. Great. All right. So we know that we hit the jackpot on this one. Now, on type 3, the low endorphin comfort craver, a lot of 7s and 8, and a 6. So those scores are quite high. And I know that in talking to you earlier, when we did our intake interview, you said that was your top score. The top motivator for you to eat was when you're feeling a need for comfort, when you're feeling sad, lonely, hurt, overly sensitive. And so let's definitely try this. So DLPA stands for 2 forms of phenylalanine, the D form, which is comforting and raises endorphins, and the L, which actually raises endorphins somewhat, but is also energizing. You gave yourself a 7 for the sensitivity to emotional pain, a 7 on often feeling sad, lonely, or hurt, even if the circumstances don't warrant it. A 6 on crying or tearing up easily. And then craving food for comfort, a reward, a numbing of this discomfort that you feel emotionally. Some people crave pot or alcohol or opiates because they work on the same part of the brain temporarily. And since foods have been designed now to be more like brain active drugs, this can be really an important area of your brain to really restore to full potency, so that you feel comforted and get a lot of pleasure out of life without recourse to food. Can you feel what you just swallowed at all?
I would say that I do feel more comfort.
Anything that you're feeling, we need to know.
But interesting, I feel like a kind of emotional fullness on my heart.
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
Interesting. Yes.
And the way you just moved is very lovely. You were kind of waving there. So let's try and get a number for it. The negative symptoms were like 7 or 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. What would they be now?
I would say that a 3.
A 3, okay.
The DLPA is just like once a day?
No, because it only lasts for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
So you want to take it 3 times, and then if you find yourself wanting to feel the way you do right now, and 1 isn't enough, then you can at that point take a second. When you're tired, would you reach more for certain foods?
Carbs, more like bread.
Okay.
Things, yes.
Okay. So right now, would that be tempting?
I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start like that.
Good. Well, then this is a worthy trial. So if you could take out a capsule of or tablet, whatever you have, of the tyrosine.
Yes. Okay.
Did you mix it with water? Yeah. Okay. Good. So you, on the questionnaire for type 5, the fatigued craver, you gave yourself a 7 for craving carbs or other substances for energy, specifically for energy. So we're looking for that interest in carbs to go away entirely. And also for your mental energy to increase, and even your physical energy to increase. How much of an issue is mental focus and concentration? Are you strong in that, or is it an effort?
Right now, it's a little bit of an effort to concentrate to, yes, like I'm going to do something, it happens a lot. And then what I'm going to do here, like a few seconds after, and
Yeah.
it's,
Okay, well,
yeah.
you did give yourself 6 and 7 on that. So,
Yes.
so we're looking for improvement in that, in focus and concentration, as well as improvement in overall energy, and then elimination of the cravings for drug-like substances like carbs. So if you were to have a carb because you were tired, would it actually give you some energy for a while?
I would say it would give me a little bit of motivation to do whatever I needed to do.
It would?
I think so. Not really energy, but a little bit like motivation. Okay, I can go for it.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's an interesting distinction. Thank you for making that. Let me know when this and if this kicks in at this dose.
Right now I don't feel anything different.
Okay. And you've responded very quickly to the other things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, typically we would suggest a second dose, maybe just a half of another one.
Okay.
Are you feeling?
And so I'm feeling like I'm more I would say focused. I feel like more directed. If I had to do something now, I think I would go to the end without a problem.
Okay. So if your focus before was a 7 poor, what would it be now? Like a 3 or?
I would say so. I always think about 2 or 3. Yes.
Okay. 2 to 3 versus 7. Well.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But the important to get a good amount of protein all 3 meals. So you're going to now eat 3 meals and be sure to get protein at every one.
Okay.
Because your craving of appetite chemistry depends on protein. It's not going to continue to, you're not going to continue to be free of cravings if you don't get enough protein to keep your brain there. I'm not talking about gigantic amounts, I mean, a couple of eggs, chicken thigh, so a filet mignon, whatever you feel like.